This video covers the scheduled maintenance module. Scheduled maintenance allows you to plan and track preventive maintenance, which helps keep your assets running as smoothly as possible by proactively performing maintenance before a fault occurs, thus avoiding any unscheduled breakdowns and downtime. To select a scheduled maintenance, navigate to Maintenance, Scheduled Maintenance in the navigation menu, and click New. A scheduled maintenance has almost all the same fields as a work order. All you need to do is build the work order you need to generate and then set the schedule for when it will be generated. Just like work orders in the scheduled maintenance module, we can add general work order information. We can select 1. The asset or assets the maintenance will be performed on. 2. The type of maintenance to be performed. 3. The priority of the maintenance. 4. What we're going to do. 5. When it will be done. 6. What tasks will be completed. 7. What parts will be needed to complete the maintenance. 8. Who will be notified when the work order is generated, updated, or done. Let's say I bought a lathe that needs servicing every 1,200 production hours or every 3 months, whichever comes first. To start, I select the asset from the drop-down menu. I can use the search to find the lathe quicker. Next, I'm going to enter a summary of the maintenance issue. In this case, it's a standard service as per manufacturer's recommendation. I want the work to be automatically assigned when it's triggered, so I select Assigned from the Start as Work Order Status drop-down list. As this is preventive maintenance, I select that as the maintenance type. It is high priority. And I want this maintenance completed within 2 days of it being triggered. Next, I'll input some tasks for this standard servicing. Best practice is to create the task group separately and add it here in one go, so let's do that. Click the Add Task Group icon, select the task group from the list. We'll assign Bob as he'll be doing the work. The estimated hours field is crucially important as it helps forecast labor hours in the future, so let's make sure we enter an estimate. And my task list is complete. Check belt tension, replace oil filter, adjust jib, inspect valves for leaks, clean air filter, record hours. In the Scheduling tab, we create the trigger. The trigger is what causes the scheduled maintenance to generate a work order. Since my maintenance is dependent on both production hours and time schedules, I'll select when any of the triggers fire, since I'll be adding more than one. If my work was dependent on both the time schedule and production hours triggering, then I'd select all of the triggers fire instead. I'll click Add to create a new trigger. Here we have 3 triggering options. I select Generate Work Order by Time Schedule. It's quarterly maintenance, so we'll choose monthly, day 1 of every 3 months. By default, this is set to a fixed schedule, which means it will trigger on the first of every 3 months, regardless of when the resultant work order was completed. Floating means that the schedule floats based on the date the resultant work order was completed. For example, if the work order was first generated on January 1st, but wasn't completed until January 5th, the next one won't generate until April 5th instead of April 1st. Because today's date is automatically populated in the Start On field, the first work order is generated immediately. Since this is the first time creating this maintenance type, and I need maintenance done starting today and continuing on into the future, I select the Create Work Order on Start Date checkbox. I can also select what time the work order triggers so that it corresponds with when I expect the work to actually start. In this example, I'll select 6 a.m. Work orders can take up to 30 minutes to generate, so my staff would receive a notification around 6:30 a.m., just in time for the first shift to start. Some scheduled maintenances act as templates and are recurring, whereas others are only performed once or for a short period of time, such as during a break-in period. Setting an end date allows you to stop generating work orders for a scheduled maintenance after a specific period of time. The second type of trigger is a meter reading. I need this lathe to be serviced every 3 months or 1,200 production hours. I can select a meter reading trigger, which will create work orders based on changes to the meter readings for this asset. My lathe production hours change incrementally, so I select every 1,200 production hours. The final type of trigger is an event. Events can be logged for assets the same way meter readings are logged. When the selected event is logged, it triggers a work order. When I'm done inputting triggers, I click Save. After you activate the scheduled maintenance, it's always a good idea to check your work in the Scheduling tab. You can see the next due date is 3 months from now, and clicking through lets you see the due dates for the next year. In the Log tab, we can see the first work order has been triggered for today. And that ends our overview of the scheduled maintenance module. Thanks for watching.